So I'm sitting here with Elik Álvarez, and in his studio here in Pasadena, and who you just composed Kingdom of Plants, right?
Yes, that's
in
right.
3D,
right.
And so we finally got to meet. We've been trying to schedule this for for a while, back when La Virgen Negra.
Yeah, La Virgen Negra, I guess.
That's when I got. That's the first time I heard your music. I got sent the CD, and I was like, "Wow, this is really great."
Yeah, thanks.
But so, how did you get started in music, and what led to composing?
Yeah, well, I mean, since I was a kid, like all my family, I wasn't a family around music. My uncle used to play piano, my father used to play piano, and all my family friends, we used to do those meetings at home where I was a kid and they were playing piano. I mean, usually piano was the main instrument, so I was lucky, because being a composer, probably, I think that's the best way to start.
Yeah.
And so, I was a boy who, did a lot of sports and music and things like that. So I never was that guy like, like this guy is going to be definitely a musician, because, I was trying different things, but always, show a deep interest about it. And I was, not very good in academies. Like, I think that they kind of failed me in one of the classes, in theory classes when I was a kid, but I always was there. And, then, of course, I had my rock band.
Yeah.
And then after my rock band, I started getting interested a little bit in jazz. And then, the idea of going to Berklee College of Music came. You say, well, maybe I can do this for a living. That scary decision, especially being in Venezuela, a country which is not known, but, you can really make a good living being a composer over there.
Right.
It's tough everywhere, but in countries like you either, are a lawyer, engineer, or something like that. It's a little bit more difficult to make that decision. So I have a degree in business administration.
Okay, so
while I was studying business administration, my mind was set, I'm gonna, be a professional musician.
Yeah.
So I prepared to go to Berklee College of Music, and with the idea of having a dual major, film scoring and performance. When I got over there, I fell in love with the career, with film composing. I really like the process. I really enjoy the process of meeting with the director or just, watching a film. And since everything is different, everything is a challenge, I really enjoy that part, because every project, is going to ask you for something different. And that, request from me to not get bored, all the time being really excited about what I'm doing, and also to try to bring some new things to my projects. That's something I always try to do. Every time that I get the opportunity, I try to make it some different to my latest score.
Yeah, and you came to the United States when you got accepted into Berklee?
Berklee, yes, that was in 1998. I was 22 at the time. So I went to the United States, went to Berklee, I really pushed really hard to finish the career, fast, because I didn't want to be sitting in a classroom all my life or something like that. So after that, I immediately moved to LA, and that's...
So then, from there, and then, so growing up, what were your major musical influences, and what did you listen to? Were you a big movie person? Were you watching movies, or?
Yeah, I love movies all the time. I really, I don't know if this will sound, I was a TV guy. I, like to watch TV, like to move to a theater, and but with music, classical music was a big influence for me, of course. Yeah. But everything that was good. And with me, it's like I have different stage in my life. Where I was into something and then immediately I changed. So got into classical. Then I wanted to go into very contemporary classic and weird stuff, and then moved to jazz, and then to very simple stuff with pop, and then to explore a little bit of rock. And I don't know. I think that created, of course, Latin music. Coming from the Caribbean, for a Caribbean country. It's Venezuela.
Right.
So I got a lot of influence in me. And I like that. But if you ask me where, yes, I love the orchestra, I love the sound, I love the you know, the history involved in how the classical music evolved and things like that. But I'm also a rock guy. I mean, if you put me rock or stuff, I really enjoy it. I love the energy. And you know, when I get the chance in my running to do energetic stuff, it's gonna be bombastic because I like that. But, you know, sometimes it could become very intense about that. But yes, I like energy.
And so if you're composing a film and you're sitting down, you're getting ready to do it. What aspect of the film speaks to you the most? Is it the writing, the acting, the story, the plot, cinematography? What is feeding you the most information that you're going to translate into music?
Yeah, I think, you know, visuals are really important. I think the way that my brain works is like I sit down and, you know, what is going to catch my attention is visual first, and then I'm going to go in to see what's going on, you know, and trying to analyze that. But I kind of, you know, the taste of the movie, the taste of what I'm actually looking at, you know, I'm going to write for that is come from my eyes first. And then, of course, I need to analyze more. So I think it's come really natural when I see something and I feel it. But then I become a little bit more, how can I say that, sophisticated about, you know, trying to see what's going on by listening to dialogue and by understanding the plot and the story. You know, so seems to be like that, and it's come really easy and really fast when I see something. The rest I become like a type of guy who like I need to study that, I need to understand very well. So I watch the scene, you know, all the time in the world until I actually get it and feel how it is or the film. Yes, but I think it's more visual, I think.
And have you ever been on a film early enough where you were just given the script first and you didn't before shooting? And are you reading the script and in your head are you going, oh, this is a perfect part for where I could do here or something like that?
Yeah, you know, that doesn't happen that often, but, you know, for example, with the movies that I have done in Venezuela, actually, La Virgen Negra, the score that you reviewed, the reason why you and I actually met, I got the script from a very early stage. So for that particular movie, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I mean, I knew how I want to handle it. You know, I read the script. I knew the instrumentation. So when I first saw the spotting session with the director in Venezuela, we sat down and said, well, this is what we're going to do. And I want to bring Lisbeth Scott. I want to bring a quattro player and a symphony orchestra. Say, well, okay, symphony orchestra, he got scared. Okay, money, you know how we're going to get that. And but you know, was perfect for that. I mean, it was a really nice when I saw it, because I mean, I really saw the script and saw the movie. I said, yeah, it's gonna work, and I think it was perfect for what that movie was requesting. You know, at that point. So, yeah.
And overall, what do you think is the most difficult part of writing a film score?
Start. I mean, the beginning. You know, like. If I have time, I like to take my time and walk a little bit and think about what I want to do. You know, of course, all depends on the projects. I mean, if it's something like, you know, I'm doing a TV show, something that, you know, I know exactly how it's going to go. I mean, just come or not, you already create the sound. But let's talk about the movie. When I see the first scene, okay, what am I going to do over here? And the reason is because I really force myself to do something different. Really, really don't want to sound like my previous work. If I get the opportunity, sometimes directors, you know, they may push into certain directions. You know, I'll try to, okay, let me give you another alt version of this to see if this is the way that probably I think it's going to work better. But I think it takes me some time to decide how I'm going to approach the film, thinking I don't want it to sound like the previous one. Sometimes I get the opportunity to do that, sometimes I don't. I mean, all depends of the project. Once I start and, you know, get the feel of it and, you know, okay, I'm liking this and, you know, I'm really hard to myself. Really, I mean, I really want to make it, you know, could be the biggest project in the world or could be something really small. If I decide to do it, I really want to do my best. No matter what, no matter how much money they are paying me, I mean, it's just, okay, I decide to actually embrace this. Let's just do the best I can. So that first part is the most difficult. After that, I think, you know, it's come natural because since I feel secure, okay, this is something good, this is going to work. Let's just keep writing.
So if that's the hardest, what's the easiest? What's
the easiest? I think the one I'm feeling.
So the two ends of the spectrum.
Exactly, when I'm done. Let me give you, you know, a good answer on that. I think that the easiest will be, probably yes. You know, probably when I'm the score. I mean, when I'm the scoring stage, that's another challenge. I like to conduct my own scores
Right.
when I get the opportunity to have an orchestra, thing like that. So, but for me, that's okay. Let's just have fun. Let's just go there. There is a lot of pressure in meeting deadline, but over there, I wake up, say, oh yes, great, I got a session. Let's just go. I know things are gonna happen. I know that maybe the orchestra is gonna do this or that, but I enjoy that so much. So if maybe I could say that's the easy part for me.
Yeah. And so kind of going into just your process and everything, I've interviewed a lot of composers at different, parts of their career, starting out, who've already accomplished and everything. And I never really get to talk to them because we're saving Kingdom of the Planets for when your collaborators get here. So we'll talk more about your process and because you're married now with a child, family. So has that changed the way you write music, being starting a family, starting your life? Because I think in different aspects and stages of human life, your perspectives change, your ideologies change, and does that change the way you write music now when you look at certain things, certain emotions? And
well, it's a very good question. First, family for me is the most important thing. Before I have my kid, he's gonna be almost 3 years already. When I was married, with my wife, I still, of course, I'm married with my wife. And the way that I was approaching this was, okay, if I'm happy in my environment with my wife and my kid, I'm going to be happy with doing what I'm doing,
Yeah.
I need to separate those. One thing is one thing, but there is a different type of love, of passion that I feel from one another. But I think that getting married is when my career started to, this is moving along, I need to get a house and all that stuff. So it made me organize myself a little bit because my wife used to go to work. So, she's a preschool teacher. So I wake up at 8 a.m. and when she's come back by 5, I'm done. Unless I have like a big project that I come back to the studio and work for, the next 2 hours and things like that. But it really made me organize the way, because before I was, writing until 4 a.m. in the morning, 5 in the morning, waking up. And, there are people who like that. And I thought that I like it, but I like this one better. When I actually know that, okay, I'm doing this, and then I go back to my wife, and I go back, to my kid, and we sit down. So I think that, I think I'm a guy with a big heart. I am. I gotta tell you, when I write music, I kind of, let go of those emotions. But what it is like before, I think that I used to go crazy, okay, I'm just gonna go with this and I don't care how many hours work. Sometimes that helps because I'm probably gonna move faster in my career. Having a family, I have to split a little bit, so I know that at the end I'm gonna achieve the result I want, maybe just in a different timing, and maybe it's gonna happen a little later, who knows. But it's just I think it just balances out at the end, because I'm happy. Yeah, sometimes you say, oh my gosh, my wife is calling and I want to keep working, but I think that's good. I think that's really, really good that happened to me.
Yeah. And it's good that you're close to, if you're working close to your studio.
I actually can walk, yes.
So, and then maybe for people who are striving to get their own starts or their own careers in the industry, because this is a very tough industry to break into. It's just the saturation of people and the business and the way it works. What would you tell to somebody, maybe not even just a composer, but a writer, who just moved to LA? What advice would you give them?
Everybody's gonna say it's a difficult city, and it is. And everybody knows. This is not an easy career. However, everybody have different paths, and everybody have different ways to achieving things. I will say, learn from the people who have done this, but don't copy anyone. Trying to find that thing that you do, trying to find that thing that makes you special. Sometimes that search is not that easy of me, like the way I'm saying it. It's going to take some time, but just set your mind on that. Because once you find that uniqueness that everybody has, I guarantee everybody has something different than somebody else, then people is going to start paying attention. If you're going to be a copycat, that may work for some time and all that stuff, but it's not really where it's going to make you probably what you want to be. When I want to really make it in the industry, find that. And something that I actually was telling, no matter what project it is, if you decide to do it, make sure it's the best you can do, because you don't know who's going to be listening.
Exactly.
You don't know who's going to be watching, you don't know who's going to be reading your script. You don't have an idea. So make sure that you push until you actually, perfection is a really, interesting word, but just to make it the best you can. And something else, that I can say about that, and I mean, you see sometimes that in graphics and things like that, maybe when you decide to quit, next day was your opportunity. Right. So that keeps you pushing, Maybe when you decide, okay, that's it, man, this is too crazy. You know what? Just one more day. Maybe the next day you are getting that call, or finally you got the film you wanted. Because I mean, talking more as a film composer. There are so much talent here. I mean, really, really good composer. It's just a matter of waiting and getting the right project. That's what we're waiting, for that project that's going to show
right place at the right
place. Yeah. So, I mean, just stay there. But really, it's about, following yourself. I mean, what you have don't copy. Don't think, oh, this guy made it, he has, I don't know how many movies, and he's 35 years old, and I'm 42 and nothing happening. That doesn't matter. I mean, that's him or she or and that's me. You know what I mean?
So have you ever starting out, did you ever have moments of doubt, moments of where you're just like, I don't know if this is going to happen? How do you get through those? How do you tell yourself to, snap out of it and be like, don't quit? How do you make yourself not quit?
Yeah, I love this career too much. I mean, and I cannot see myself. I mean, I like business. I'm honestly a business guy, but I love this. I mean, this is, what I cannot see myself doing something else at this point in my life, and that's what happens when I decide to become a composer. Luckily enough, when I started my career here, I went through a whole process to assisting somebody else, but immediately I got the opportunity to write with somebody else for some animation shows that, they are really good in residuals and royalties. So I was lucky to be there. And that also because, I mean, let's be realistic, yes, I have certain income coming in, even if I'm not doing, big projects or anything like that can keep me alive.
Right.
So when things get really, really hard, at least I get something, when things get, oh my gosh, I need to feed my family, my kids gonna need to go to college, and I think about those stuff. I really think, about being really, but I love the career so much, and no, I'm not trying to be cocky here. I believe in myself. I really believe that I can deliver something really good. I mean, if they give me the opportunity, I'll be there and do it. So, that keep me pushing all the time. But of course, I mean, sometimes I say, oh man, mortgage, oh my gosh, and then I start thinking, insurance, of course, I don't, I work for myself, we need to pay for insurance, my wife work for a part-time position so, I mean, there are many factors, but somehow I just push myself and go and that's it.
Because I think confidence is a very important thing to have.
It is.
Not a lot of people have it, but I think it's important to, because if you don't have confidence in yourself, then nobody, I think, is going to have confidence in you.
You got to show that. I mean, gotta be careful with becoming I'm the best and all that. I mean, I mean, everybody has different personalities, but also sometimes, and as I say before, like different people have different ways, and sometimes realizing something takes more time from one people than to another. Just keep doing it, keep pushing,
So now maybe touching back on the creative side, because I'm not a musician. I want to write and I want to direct, but I love music as a huge part of that. So if you're working with a director, what are the best qualities for a director to have? What makes that a pleasant experience?
For me, passion. I mean, if I this comes back to people having different personalities, but if I see somebody who approaches to me and then I feel that passion in the project, like, this is going to happen and I'm doing this, and I don't have money to look for this. So yes, I mean, the studio just gave me all the money in the world. When I feel that, I'm in for that reason. I mean, I'm a passionate guy, and I like that symbiosis with somebody else. Of course, it's a very well written material, much better. Or I mean, this is amazing, a script that I love. I mean, actually going to be doing a movie with the same director from La Virgen Negra pretty soon. I mean, the movie is called A Golpes, and I read the script and I love it. I mean, really, really good. So, one thing that I like about Ignacio is that, like, he just, let's do it. I'm going to find this actress. I don't have money. I don't care. I just going to go for. So when I get that, I mean, that fits me. That fits me and say, okay, let's do it. I mean, I feel very motivated to do it. I mean, if I get somebody and you just say, like, probably, shoot, that's enough, I'm not too sure about it, I'm just doing because they're paying me, I can feel that too. Probably I'll take the job because I need it, but it's not the same. So, I mean, I prefer to work with people like that. I mean, if somebody gives me the choice.
Have you worked with directors like that who are just not, it didn't click?
I mean, we made it happen at the end, and, I'm probably tend to to push the way I am into that, and sometimes I get good reaction. Sometimes they shoot me down. Okay, you're the composer, stay there. Things like that. Sometimes it's great. I'm sure you heard this before. I mean, you gotta be a psychiatrist or psychology, whatever you want to call it, to be a composer. The way you deal. So depending on the people you ring, why you don't write the lyrics for the main title if we're doing a song, for example, or make sure you come to the scoring session and see the orchestra. You're gonna love it, and things like that. I try to, and when I work, I like to have fun. I like to everybody. There are moments you say, "Oh my gosh, this is not happening," but usually, I like to try that energy in the room, to bring it, Yeah. So yeah.
So, I guess if we're gonna start to close out, I always like to end interviews with this question. I always like to ask composers, if you had the opportunity to score any film ever made, with no disrespect to the original composer, what movie would you choose?
Wow. Yeah, I'm just gonna say whatever Can Children Live will be. I mean, coming from the best of the best for me. I mean, the guy who inspired me to, which is John Williams. I would love to have the opportunities to score something like that. To score a story, to score the way it's filmed and all that stuff. That probably will be a really nice film to do. And I think it's because I think that for John Williams, which for me, is the greatest, honestly. I mean, it's just, I don't know, I mean, he's the maestro, in my opinion. And, there are many composers we can talk about, I feel such respect for him. So he put so much heart into that, and he really liked his score, really a lot. So I would like to get the opportunity to do the same my way over there. I mean, how I gonna disrespect that guy? I mean, he's just amazing, especially that score. So yes, I mean, I don't know, when you asked me that question, I kind of saw the black and white thing coming in, and the girl and all that stuff. So everything came to me from, I don't know. So yes, I mean, that would be a good one to do.
That's a good answer. But that's all I have for you right now. So thank you so much.
Thank you, okay. No, thank you, appreciate it. And I think that it's fantastic what you're doing. By the way, you're pushing. I think that for composers, it's great to have somebody who loves film music, and you love film music. I mean, no question about it.
But thanks, I appreciate that.